Have you ever looked at a tortoise and wondered why its shell is cracked? Not smooth, not whole, but broken, like something shattered it. Was it born that way, or did something happen? Long ago, in a land where animals spoke and the sky was closer to the earth, there lived a tortoise. Tortoise was clever, very clever. But he was also proud. He believed he was wiser than every animal around him. When others spoke, he corrected them. When others succeeded, he claimed it. And when others were praised, he smiled as if the praise belonged to him. Slowly, the animals grew tired of Tortoise. One dry season, when food became scarce on the land, something unusual happened. The birds received an invitation. High above the clouds, the sky people were preparing a great feast. A feast of abundance. A feast of joy. But there was one condition. Only the birds were invited. When Tortoise heard about the feast, his stomach turned with hunger. He had not eaten well in days. But more than hunger, he felt left out. So Tortoise went to the birds. "My friends," he said softly, "surely you can take me with you. I have always admired the birds. I belong with you." The birds hesitated. They knew Tortoise was clever, but not always honest. Still, after much persuasion, they agreed. Each bird gave one feather. And together, they made wings for Tortoise. And so, for the first time in his life, Tortoise rose into the sky. Higher and higher they flew, until the earth below became small and distant. When they finally arrived, Tortoise was amazed. The feast was beyond anything he had ever seen. Tables filled with fruits, grains, and delicious food of every kind. But before the feast began, Tortoise spoke. "In the sky," he said, "it is tradition to take a new name." The birds looked at him, confused. "My name," Tortoise continued, "shall be all of you." The birds did not understand. But they said nothing. Moments later, a great voice echoed across the sky. "This feast is for all of you." Before anyone could react, Tortoise stepped forward. "That is my name," he said calmly. "All of you." And then, he began to eat. He ate, and ate, and ate. He took everything. Not a share. Not a portion. Everything. The birds stood there, hungry, watching in silence as Tortoise finished the entire feast. Their joy turned to anger. Their trust broken. When it was time to return home, the birds made a decision. One by one, they took back the feathers they had given him. Tortoise begged. He apologized. He promised to change. But this time, his words meant nothing. The last feather was removed. And suddenly, Tortoise stood alone at the edge of the sky. Far below him was the earth. The wind howled loudly. Tortoise looked down and whispered, "Oh no." And then, he fell. He fell through the clouds. Faster and faster. The wind roaring past him. Until, he hit the ground with a terrible force. His shell shattered into pieces. The animals rushed to him. They tried to help. Tried to fix what was broken. They gathered the pieces and carefully put them back together. But no matter how hard they tried, The cracks remained. And from that day on, every tortoise has carried those cracks on its shell. A reminder that cleverness without humility can lead to destruction. That greed can take everything and still leave you with nothing. And that sometimes, when you rise too high on borrowed wings, the fall is inevitable. So the next time you see a tortoise walking slowly with its cracked shell, remember this story. Now tell me, was Tortoise punished fairly? Or was it too harsh? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more African stories that teach, inspire, and stay with you. Until next time, stay wise, and stay humble.